Right now we're continuing in the Dvar Malchut, which is the speech given by the Lubavitcher Rebbe in 1991, and it's explaining the good which was in this apparent what is it called? Debacle. There's a better word for it. This incredible, catastrophe. Of Moses sending in the 12 scouts and them coming back and convincing the Jewish people not to enter the land of Israel. What could possibly be good about that? It's a terrible tragedy. Because of that, they wandered around in the desert. And because of that, in that time, because of all their complaints, Moses struck the rock. And because of that, Moshe did not go in with the Jewish people into the Holy Land. So only bad came out of it. The Rebbe said, no, okay, true, there's some bad that came out of it, 100%. That everybody knows about, but there's some really good came out of it. And that everybody doesn't know about. That's the idea, by the way, of Chassidut, especially Chassidut Chabad, is to reveal the whatever good there is in everything. In everything. Everything in the world has some good in it, even if the good that's in it is a commandment to avoid it or to wipe it out. But nevertheless, if God creates it and it's in the Torah deals with it, even if it's a prohibition, right? You're not supposed to steal, you're not supposed to kill. So it's a good thing that there is the potential for murder and for thievery in the world. A good thing. Why? Because we can avoid it. Huh? We can defy ourselves. In some ways, that's even higher than doing a positive commandment. So everything there is in the world is something good. But in addition, there are some things which are clearly beneficial. They're really good. Not just that we can avoid it, wipe out Amalek, something like that, wipe them out. Something is good in them. What's good? We'll see. So what could possibly be good in this catastrophe of sending in 12 trusted scouts into the land of Israel to inspire the Jewish people and to encourage them and to get them all fired up about going into Israel with joy and with anticipation. And instead they came back and did exactly the opposite. They discouraged the Jewish people and they caused the Jewish people not to come to the land of Israel. What could be good in it? So the Rebbe said, I'll tell you what could be good. Number one, they did come back with a positive report. True, they added on afterwards bad things, but they did come back with a positive report that the land is very fertile and that it's very, how do you say, conducive to humans, and that it's very healthy. Land is healthy, and it's very, the people there are very great. And you see that the fruits are amazing, and that it's flowing with water, and that there's all the rich resources are there. Everything. So they came back with a good report. True, they messed it up in the end, but the fact is, everybody still knew that Eretz Yisrael was everything that God said, number one. Number two, they were the first Jews to really enter the land of Israel with the intention of staying. They were the first Jews to really come and stake a claim, if you want to say, in the land of Israel. God promised it to Abraham. He promised it to Abraham, to Yitzchak, to Yaakov, to Moses. It was all a promise. But they fulfilled this promise. These 12 were the first Jews to actually come into the land of Israel with the intention of staying there. True, they changed their mind afterwards. But at least, even if they were 1 minute to stay there, right, that's it. They were the first Jews. So if so, the Rebbe said that the spies that Moses sent in, even though their mission was unsuccessful, 99% of it, but that 1% that was successful, that laid the ground for the scouts that Joshua sent in 40 years later that finished the job. So the scouts that Moshe sent in, they brought back the the proof that the land of Israel is good, and it's bountiful, and it's plentiful, and it's rich, it's healthy, and it's blessed. They brought the news back. And true, they messed it up in the end, but still they brought it back. That was step number one. Step number two, Joshua, he sent in scouts to see if the land of Israel was ready to be conquered, if the inhabitants are afraid. And his scouts, they built on the scouts of Moses, right? They came back, they were just there for a few hours in Israel. But they came back and said, the people are all afraid, you can go in. Okay, says the Rebbe, what's this got to do with us? A wonderful story, nice to understand. What's it got to do with it? Says the Rebbe, these are two ways of refining the world. And the Jewish people are here in order to refine the world. In other words, to show the true value of this physical world. And I know that I brought this example 1,000 times, and maybe I'll bring it 1,000 more times, but it's like if you found a picture, it's like really sort of dark and weird, but you like it. You find it in the garbage, or you find it in your attic or something, or there's an attic sale, you bought the whole attic, that you bought it, and so you use it as a placemat, or you hang it up in the bathroom, right? You have a nice thing you can look at in the toilet, you can look. Somebody comes and says, where did you get that picture from? I said, I found it in the garbage. So listen, my friend, that is a genuine Rembrandt. That is a Rembrandt. I don't know who it is. You don't know who Rembrandt is? No, he's a bit dark, isn't he? It's dark, but it's a nice picture for the bathroom. You know, it says, man, that picture is worth at least $100 million. What? Ah, come on, that's ridiculous. I could do a thing like that. Believe me, my friend, thousands of people said that, and none of them were. That picture is worth $100 million. Why? It's got a signature on it. It's a genuine. The same thing is with the world. The Jews are supposed to be here to say the world, hey, what do you know that car? That car is a genuine God. Your clothes are genuine God, not just Rembrandt. God is creating everything. Everything is precious. It's but one second, if everything is precious, so that devaluates everything. Nothing is worth anything. No, not so. Right? True, it's true. It could be that if you find 1 million Rembrandt pictures, or if everybody could paint exactly like Rembrandt, that would lower the value. Could be. I'm not in the art market. Could be. But it doesn't work that way with God. Even if you reveal everything is God, is produced now by God, nothing loses its value. Exactly the opposite. Everything increases in its value 1,000,000 times. Life becomes one big, amazing miracle. So that's what the scouts of Moses, they added in, that the world is really very valuable. It's just we can't conquer it. It's just too strong for us, but it's really valuable. It's really amazing. It's godliness. But what can we do? You know, the bad is too strong. But that set the stage for the scouts of Joshua saying, oh yes, we can. We can certainly reveal godliness, and we can do it. Okay, these two ways are two different ways of refining the world, right? Showing how valuable the world is. One way is division, and one way is unity. This is hinting at the two ways of Joshua. Unity means everything comes from God. Division means everything has to be dealt with individually. This is hinted at by the two ways of the sending of the scouts, by Moses and by means of Joshua. When Moses sent his scouts, Shnei Asar Anashim, there were 12. 12, each one represented a whole tribe, but nevertheless they went, all 12 tribes, they went in, right, 12 tribes, each one individual. This stressed refining the world in a individual way, the details. 12 tribes were sent. Each one was different. Each one represented a totally different type of personality, of Jew. How the Jews are all different one from the other, that was all sent. All the differences were represented by the 12 scouts. Details. This is made by means of the details, the divisions of the Jewish people and the Torah. That's what it means, ledatcha. God said to Moses, you want to send these scouts, you call the shots, Moses. Ledatcha. That's what's called dat. Dat means connecting all opposites, unifying. Dat means unifying, making real. Shekolel gam chachma bebina. The kol amidot and all of the emotions which are born from intellect. That's dat. Dat gives birth. Like it says in the Torah, Adam knew his wife. By means of his knowing his wife means the uniting of two opposites, male and female, and giving birth to children. That's the idea of details. Kochot panimim. This is what's called internal personality powers, which they are all different one from the other. And that's why God said, you want to send the spies, do it according to your individual decision. Dat Adam. This is what you're connected to, your decision. Sharomas al Yerida, Vitchalkut, Vitlabshut b'Torah. This is how the Torah comes and connects. How the Torah comes and connects, datcha, connects to man, to the world. Then it's relevant that there can be these divisions, right? God made man, and every single human being is different from every other human being, but every human being is composed of all these limbs and arteries and veins and nerves, and everything is different from everything else. That's the details. That's the details. So conquering the land of Israel, we have to deal with the details. But Bishloach, when Joshua sent his scouts, he only sent 2. And they didn't go and see all of the details of the land of Israel. They just went into one city which was on the border. It was right on the wall. It was the entrance to the land of Israel. Shekolelet kol Eretz Israel. It includes in it all of the land of Israel. Jericho. That was the key to Israel. As Mudgeshes, this stresses the Pu'ula, the Bureau. This is talking about the general refinement of the land of Israel in a way, she lamaila mitchalkot, which is above any division whatsoever. So there's 2 aspects. On one hand, let's just take the Jewish people. Every Jew is different. But on the other hand, let's say anti-Semites. Now there's a big thing of anti-Semitism in the world. They hate the Jews. What type of Jews? All Jews. The Jews are bad. Jews are bad. Well, no, you just mean the Israeli Jews. The Jews, Israeli Jews, that's one reason to hate them. Because the Zionists and the genocide. But in general, all the Jews are not trustworthy. They can't trust any of the Jews, right? So what is all the? Forget about the details. Forget about the details. You're a Jew. That's it. You're finished. You're a Jew. What am I? I'm a nice guy. I agree with you with this. Okay, maybe if you can help me hate Jews, as I'll let you in for a while, you can help me. But eventually you're going to get it too. Hating Jews. Why? Because they're Jews. But they're all different types of Jews. I don't care. Makes no difference. That's the unity of the Jewish people. That's the unity. Unfortunately, we're talking about it in a negative way, but sometimes that's what it takes. Like Haman unified all the Jewish people in Purim. So on one hand, all the Jews are exactly the same. The same thing with the land of Israel. It's all the same. It's a holy land. The same thing with the Torah. This Torah is just one, the wisdom of God, the will of God, without any division. Whether we're talking about the most seemingly insignificant story in the Torah, detail of the Torah, who are the wives of Ishmael or whatever it is, who cares? Right? About the most insignificant letters in the Torah connected to some story about what the Bilam did or something. It's Torah. It's just as important as I am God that took you out of Egypt. First of the 10 commandments. Right? The Torah, the whole thing is holy. Same thing with the Jews. Every Jew is holy. Same thing with the Torah. I'm sorry, same thing with the land of Israel. Land of Israel is holy. Every detail of it. That's above any division. But on the other hand, it has to be divided up. Every Jew is different. Every place in Israel is different. Every word of the Torah is different. The Inyan Zeh, this is made because of the unity of the Jewish people and the Torah. I'm not doing anything from my own opinion. I'm doing everything because God wants me to. It's like saying, why do you put on tefillin? Why do you put on tefillin? So one reason I put on tefillin is because God wants me to. God wants. What about you? Get any benefits from putting on tefillin? I don't know about benefits. I know that this is what God wants. Is it going to benefit me? Is it not going to benefit me? Is that right? There were times when Jews put on tefillin, and because of that, they killed them. Right? And nevertheless, they put tefillin on in Auschwitz. They put tefillin on because that's what God wants. I don't understand it, but that's what He wants. You're going to get a reward type of reward. I'm only getting bad from it, but that's what God wants, without any understanding. But on the other hand, there's hundreds of reasons to put on tefillin. You connect your heart to God. You connect your mind to God. Right? The tefillin are divided into 4 houses that corresponds to Chachma, Bina, and Dad is divided into 2. All these Kabbalistic things and everything like that. There's all these details. And therefore, we're doing the commandments only because they are the commandments of God. Oneness. So there has to be these 2 things involved all the time. The spies that Moses sent in, that's details. And those that Joshua sent in, that's unity. Above all details. Therefore, Moses sent in 12, corresponding to all the 12 different tribes of Israel. And Joshua sent in 2, just representing the Jews. That's all. And we can say that this is also hinted at the 2 people that Joshua sent in, and he sent them in secret. Shnayim, 2, and not 12. Why? Because in serving God and surrender to God, lo nogi, it's not relevant. Pratis chalkus, any of the details whatsoever of the 10 powers. You're using your chachma, your bina, your will, your wise, your kind. There's only 2. What God wants and what God forbids. Aseh v'lo taseh. Serving God, there's only 2 things. We just talked about that, like the white of the tzitzis and the blue of the tzitzis. There's 2 things. What God wants me to do and what God forbids me to do. I do what God wants because He wants it. Either it's different commandments. It's all the same thing. I put on tzitzis because God wants. I put on tefillin because God wants. I keep Shabbos because God wants. That's all you do. I mean, it's a little bit more exciting. You feel the life of it. On the other hand, you're not paying attention to the details, but at least you feel the life of it. That's the 2 scouts that Joshua sent in, represented the 2 aspects of serving God, doing and positive and negative, doing and prohibiting, avoiding. And that's why Joshua sent them in stam. He just sent in regular people, not necessarily the princes and the chiefs of the tribes, ordinary people. That's the idea of Kabbalat all, accepting the yoke of God and bittul, surrendering to God. I do whatever God wants. I'm not asking any questions. I'm not interested in the details. God said to do it, I do it. God said it's forbidden, I'm not going to do it. This is found in all of the Jewish people equally. That's the essence of the Jewish soul. Jews want to do God's will. That's the essence of the Jewish soul. Every Jew. It's true, most Jews don't know it. And even the Jews that are aware there is such a thing, either they don't want to do it or it's just too difficult to do. But nevertheless, that's the fact. Chassidut makes it easier. Korov elecha davar moed. But nevertheless, it's very difficult to be this level of just doing what God wants because that's what God wants. But that's the essence of the Jewish soul. That's represented by the 2 spies that Joshua sent in. Their whole thing is like doing what God wants and avoiding what God wants. Just do it. That's it. That's God's will. And that's Stam. So Joshua didn't send in special people. He sent in just 2 Jews, Anashim, because that's this total surrender to God is common by all Jews. And he sent them in quietly. This service of God, of accepting the yoke. It's called accepting the yoke. Like an ox is attached to the driver because of a yoke. The ox doesn't understand anything, but because of the yoke, he's connected to the owner, to the driver who does understand everything. The same thing the Jewish people, through the commandments, and the prohibitions, is that's like the yoke. We're connected to the driver. That's called Kabbalat Ol. We accept the yoke. Wherever God wants us to go, we go. That's what's called, that's an ordinary Jew. That's the essence of every Jew. And that's quiet. Why? Because this serving God in such a way of just accepting the yoke is done quietly. It's just between me and God. It's my connection to God. I don't care if anybody else knows. I'm not interested in people knowing what I'm doing. The Yim Tak Yoter, me and God, being connected to God, that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. I have to have other people know also. That's the thing of Joshua. The Yim Tak Yoter, this will even be made sweeter by what you explained. The rabbis say that the 2 people that Joshua sent in, they were Kalev and Pinchas. Who was Kalev? Kalev was the only one, except for Joshua, but now Joshua was the head of the Jewish people. Kalev was the only one that remained from the original scouts that Moses sent in. He was the only one. Moses sent in 10 scouts. I'm sorry, Moses sent in 12 scouts, 1 for each tribe. 10 of them came back with bad reports. 2 of them came in back with positive reports. One of them was Joshua. He became Moses' replacement, Moses. And the other one was Kalev. Okay, so Kalev, he was one of them that, one of them of the scouts that were loyal to Moses. Since that he had a different spirit inside of him, and he went out after God. But Pinchas, who was he? Pinchas was the son of Elazar ben Aaron, a Kohen, and he came from the tribe of Levi. And Levi was not one of those that were sent in. We said that before. Moses sent in 12 tribes, right? There are 12 tribes, right? But Levi, he didn't send in because Levi doesn't have a portion of a specific area of Israel they own. So how did we get 12? There was removed one. It should be 11. It says, but the tribe of Joseph was divided into 2, Manasseh and Ephraim. So that brings the number back up to 12. So Moses sent in 12 tribes. He didn't send in Levi. And Joshua, when he sent in Kalev, who remained loyal to Moses. Why did he remain loyal to Moses, by the way? Because he didn't think too much. All the others, they started thinking, we can't go into the land of Israel. He just said, Moses wants us to go in, we'll go in. It says Kalev even went to the grave, to Hebron, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and he prayed that I should not listen to any logical explanations why we shouldn't go into Israel. But he prayed. He asked, I had to have special help from God. Kalev. What about Pinchas? Pinchas had no place there at all. Pinchas was from the tribe of Levi. Moses didn't even send in anybody of the Levi. Lama Shalchol Yeshua. Why did Joshua send him to see the land of Israel and to conquer it? It says the tribe of Levi, they did not participate in the army. The tribe of Levi says they were devoted totally to God. They didn't go to the army. And the whole thing of taking over Israel was going to have to be a war. Why did Joshua send in Pinchas, who's from the tribe of Levi? Yeshlom, we can say the explanation is, according to what the Gemara said, is Atid Yisrael, that says, the land, where's this Gemara? It says that in the future, the land in Baba Batra, in the Talmud Baba Batra. So it says in the future, the land of Israel is going to be divided up, not into 12 portions like Joshua did, when they came in. When Mashiach comes, it'll be divided into 13 portions. Why? Because the tribe of Levi will receive an area of Israel. Like it says, Shar Levi Echad. It says that Levi will also have one gate, one portion in the land of Israel. Let's say this one. It's a sentence in Yechezkel. It's talking about the third temple. In the third temple, it says there will be for the 12 in the holy temple, the first and the second temple, there were 12 doors for each tribe. And in the third temple, there'll be a door for Levi, because they'll also have a portion of the land of Israel. They'll have a place in the land of Israel. Oh, it says, Lama lo zacha Levi. Why did Levi not merit a place in a portion in the land of Israel? And why did Levi not merit with bibizat im echav in the spoils of war with the other Jews? Because Levi, the tribe of Levi, Huvdal, was separated Lavod Hashem, to serve God. Moses was from the tribe of Levi, right? Aaron was from the tribe of Levi. But Moses and Aaron did not have an area in the land of Israel. Their thing was to be devoted to God. It says there were 48 cities that were given to them. Because Levi, the tribe of Levi, was devoted only to serving God, to show the laws of the Torah, the laws of the Torah, and God's righteous laws to the people. Like it says, Yoru Mishpatecha Yaakov, that Levi will show the law to Jacob and teach the Torah to Yisrael, to the Jewish people. Therefore, the tribe of Levi was separated from the world, and they did not go into war like the other Jews. Therefore, even though, yes, it's true, it's a good thing to learn the Torah, and learning the Torah gives power to the soldiers that they can be victorious, but the fact is they didn't fight in the battles. And therefore, they did not get a part, they did not get a area of Israel. Elohim Chayil Hashem, but their thing is they are soldiers of God. Like it says, Barech Hashem Chelo, that God should bless their power. Hu Baruch v'zoche lahem. God blessed the Levites so that the Levites should be, they should bring blessing to all the Jewish people. Like it says, Ani chalkacha nachalatecha, that God said, I am your portion. So God blessed, says, I'm your portion, God said. Right? The other Jews, they have a place in the land of Israel. They have their land, they plow, they work, that's very good. And they also, of course, devoted to God. But the reason they're devoted to God is because of you, tribe of Levi. You teach them, you bring them up, but you don't have a place in the land of Israel. You don't have an area in the land of Israel. Maybe you can say in general, the whole thing belongs to you. It belongs to God. Because I'm your portion. That's now. But in the future, when Mashiach comes, since in those days, you won't have to teach the Jewish people anymore. Levi won't have to teach them Torah and the fear of God and the commandments and what's permissible and what's forbidden. They won't have to. Why? Because Mashiach will cause that the whole entire world will know God. The world, there will be tremendous wisdom and awareness of God. Like it says, the whole world will be filled with the awareness of God like water fills the ocean. Until the world will only be interested in knowing God alone. Mashiach. So Levi, the tribe of Levi, won't be necessary. Like the Rebbe said about doctors. In the future, everybody's going to be healthy. So what are doctors going to do? There won't be any more doctors. So the Rebbe said, I don't know if it was in a humorous way or not, so doctors will be there to tell people that they're not sick, to convince them they're not sick. The hypochondriacs, right? I mean, the doctors can cure sick people, but they can't cure hypochondriacs. A person who wants to be sick, so even Mashiach won't heal. If a guy wants, well, I'm not sick at all. Come on, I want a little pain. I want a little attention. Right? I go checks into the hospital. I have a pain. Doctor said, you don't have a pain. I'm telling you, I do. I have a pain. I feel bad. Feel good. The only thing you feel bad is your imagination. In the future, it says everyone will be healthy. everyone will know the Torah. The Torah will be part and parcel of every atom of the world. People will simply know it. Like it says, because the world will be filled with the knowledge of God, like water fills the ocean. Lo yet tzarich b'havdalah. You won't have to have a separation between the tribe of Levi and the world anymore. Why? Because the whole world will be like in the level of Levi. And therefore, the tribe of Levi then will have a portion in the land of Israel. So what's this got to do? That Moses sent in 12, because he's talking about in the time of exile, there's only 12 areas of Israel. But Joshua was talking about the future redemption when Levi will also have a part in the land of Israel. They'll have a land. Therefore, he sent Pinchas. And Yeshlom, we can say that this division into 13 tribes in the future is also attached to the unity, which is above any division of Moses. 13. Why? 13 is even more divisions. Moses only sent in 12. And Joshua was sent in with hints at 13. Levi also. Because it says that because the numerical value of echad, 1, is 13. Chalukat Eretz, the dividing of the apportionment of the land of Israel in the future, will be in a way that God will do the apportionment himself. Like it said, Eile machlokatam ne'um Hashem. These will be the divisions of the Jewish people, says God. Where does God say this? One second. This is also in Ezekiel. No, in Baba Batra. And that's when he talks about the 13. Baba Batra. I think it's also a sentence in Ezekiel, but okay. Shemizeh, from this it's understood. Shegam Chaluka, that also the dividing of the land of Israel is because of, in the future, 13, it will be done by God. And if so, it is in a way where it's not stressing the division or the details, it's stressing the oneness of God. God himself is dividing the land up. And therefore, not the division of the land of Israel will not be divided like it is now, in the way it will be divided in the Olam Haba in the future. Olam Hazeh now, Adam Yeshlo Sadeh, one person has a wheat field. Ein lo pardis. He devotes his land. If he's a wheat farmer, so he has wheat, and he doesn't have fruit trees. Of another person who he has fruit trees, Ein lo Sadeh Lavan. Then he specializes in fruit. He doesn't have a wheat field. In the future, there will not be one Jew that doesn't have land in the mountain, in the high place, in the low place, in the valleys. Like it says, Shar Ruvain Echad, Shar Yehuda Echad, Shar Levi Echad. God will divide himself so that everyone will have a portion in the land of Israel, and each portion will contain everything. How is this possible? It's not possible, but God will do it. God does the impossible. The logic in this is nowadays, the refinement of the world is done by means of this level of godliness, which is relevant to the world. Like we said with tzitzis, it has to be drawn the details into the world. There are opinions that say that Korach was really right what he said, but it was only, Korach was talking about the days of the Moshiach, when it won't be necessary to bring godliness into the details. The whole world will already be filled with godliness. But he was wrong for now. Now the opinion of Korach is not relevant now. But the fact is that in the future, they'll be drawn down a level, revealed a level of godliness, which is above the world. Nowadays, it's a level of godliness which is relevant to the world, like the tzitzit. But in the future, all these strands, after that will be completed the refinement of the world, then the revelation of godliness will be above any division. Achdut Peshuto, simple unity. Why? By means of the unity of the Jewish people, Shekulam, that all the Jewish people will be in the level of the tribe of Levi. What does it mean, Levi? The Jews won't be different one from the other. They'll look the same. No. Every Jew will be different. Every Jew will be unique. Every Jew will be special. Every human being will be special. Every human being will be unique. They'll all be different one from the other. But on the other hand, they'll all be exactly the same. Why? They're all creations of God. And by the Jews, they're all the sons of God. If a human being has a bunch of sons, so he can favor one more than the other. But God is not a human being. A human being has sons, they're people just like him. But the Jewish people are not just like God. What it means they're sons of God is an amazing mystery, but it says in the Torah, the Jews are sons of God. So by God, all of them are equal. It says not only Shevet Levi alone will be devoted to God, but every single person. Asher nidva libo, that this Rambam says this. Every person who wants to devote himself to the Creator, he can be that Jew, whoever it is. The Rambam doesn't say Jew; it says every person. It says all ish, any human being that wants to devote himself totally to the Creator and the Creator's Torah. So this person becomes holy of holies, and he has a portion in the world to come forever. Like it says in just like the Kohanim and the Leviim are holy and devoted to God, every Jew, if he wants to, will be devoted to God, and every human being. In more detail, it says what's going to be in the future. That's the difference between Maimonides. It's a prophecy of Isaiah. It says the world will be filled with the knowledge of God. That's one level. And like water fills the ocean. Two different levels of the unity of God. That the world will be filled with an awareness of God means that there will be a world, but the world will be filled and permeated totally with the awareness and connection to God. Why? Mitzad, because of a level of godliness which is in the world. Like I said before, the Rembrandt's signature on the picture makes it valuable 100 million times more than just the paper, right? But it's still, the signature is still part of the world. Same thing when you see godliness in the world, everything becomes wonderful, amazing. This is a level of godliness in the world, the Torah, which comes down into the world and is comparable, is relevant to the world and works on the world. That's how the Torah is divided, the details of the Torah. But there's a higher level which Moshiach is going to reveal. Not only will the world be filled with godliness in all of its details, but it will be filled with godliness like water fills the ocean. What does that mean? Shemetziot ha'oretz, that the actual earth will be filled and completely with the awareness of God. Because of this level of godliness, which is totally above the world. That's Torah as it is in its pure essence, the wisdom of God, as it is the wisdom of God. This is the wisdom of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Nowadays, the Torah is a book in the library, and it happens to be that it's the wisdom of God. And if you take it seriously, then you can even feel a little bit the wisdom of God in it. It's not like any book in the library. But in the future, the Torah will not be a book in the library. In fact, the library won't even be library anymore. Everything will be pure miracle. Everything. Totally above any sort of comprehension. And the Torah will be even above that. The Torah is pure godliness. That's what it means, the one Torah of God, which by means of drawing this Torah into the world, you can see revealed, that the real existence of the world, it's only Hidgalut Chachma, it's just the wisdom of God. You'll see that everything in the world is a miracle, not that it's precious. Everything in the world is above value. It's infinitely, infinitely precious. Kulam b'chachmatita, every detail of the world is pure wisdom of the Creator. Ukamaim Rizal, like it says, everything which God created, ba'olamo lo baro, he didn't create it except for his glory. Now, what this exactly means, I have no idea. I mean, a little idea, maybe I have. But we're talking about here a level of reality that they did experience at Mount Sinai. They did experience at Mount Sinai. And in fact, this was revealed to the Jews, even though they didn't really experience it, when they left Egypt. Said God, not an angel, not a spirit, not God personally took them out of Egypt. But to internalize this in a permanent way has never been done in the history of the world, and it's inconceivable. It's like the whole world becomes the Holy of Holies. The Holy of Holies, only the high priest could go in, and only one time in the year, and only for a few minutes. And even in that special time, when that special person went into this special place, if he had one bad thought, he would die. He would die. And that's revelation is going to be in the whole entire world. What does it mean? In other words, the Kohen, when he went in, if he understood anything, he would die because it's above understanding. So this is a level which is pure reality. Who knows what it means? It's not going to heaven. Our bodies will be higher than the souls, it says. That means the essence of the Torah. Like it says, there's no glory except for the Torah. In the language of the Maimonides, in the beginning of his book, he says, Yesod Yesodot, the foundation of foundations, and the very pillar of wisdom is you have to know that there is a first existence, and everything that exists only exists because God exists. The Yesh Lomar, we can say, this will be revealed to everyone. Yesh Lomar, we can say that the preparation, Hachana, L'Shlemut Oretz, that really making the world complete and pure and whole in the future, when the Eretz Yisrael will be divided into 13, namely that also Levi will also have a portion because of the unity of all of the Jewish people and the Torah. When did this begin? It began when Joshua sent in Pinchas to scout out the land of Israel. And even though Pinchas was only there for a very short time, that's good enough. That opened the door for this incredible revelation of the truth, which is going to be only by Moshiach, the raising of the dead. Shehosif, that Joshua added on to the mission of Moses by means of this, that he sent also Pinchas from the tribe of Levi. That's the number 13. 13 tribes, and the 13 is the numerical value of one, the oneness of God. As we'll discuss more, God willing, tomorrow.